Yo, I'm Drew, and today I want to talk about why I use medical cannabis. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I uploaded a clip yesterday, which was just a clip from a live stream where I spoke about how a lot of people don't seem to believe that I have a medical condition purely because I don't sit online feeling sorry for myself all day, talking about my condition and all of this stuff and going, oh, woe is me, I'm sick and all that. And because people don't see that, they don't believe I have a medical condition in the first place. I know it might sound kind of ironic to make a video saying that, to then make a video talking about my medical need, but I saw a lot of the comments on that video and clearly a lot of people don't actually have any idea why I use medical cannabis. So I kind of wanted to just make this video as my only video where I talk about my condition, how I got into it, why I got into it, why I use medical cannabis, and just sort of my information around it. So that way I don't really have to speak about it again. Obviously I'll speak about medical cannabis, but I don't want to speak about my personal medical issues online, you know? So first of all, let's just talk about my condition, which again, I really don't like talking about my condition online. I don't really like going through that stuff. So I'm just going to sort of give you the brief. But when I was 16, I was walking through a park at like 1 in the morning and somebody just sucker punched me in the back of the head. And then a group of people just started stomping on my head. I was in a completely random area, in a place I didn't know. It was just a completely random thing. And from that, I got brain damage. And for years, I was treated for something else. So at first, they thought it was PTSD. Then they thought it was a thyroid issue. And then eventually found out that it was actually like a form of brain damage. And essentially what happened is that part of my pituitary gland is damaged. It causes a hormone imbalance. That hormone imbalance is what causes me to have lots of anxiety. So you'll hear me talk about anxiety a lot. And that's because that's the symptom that I get treated for. But the thing that actually causes that is the head injury. So that's the situation that I'm in. So like I said, for a while, I was given like some completely wrong medication for just like some other issues that they thought I had, which weren't actually real. And then eventually when they found out what it actually was, they started putting me on beta blockers, which beta blockers are essentially, they turn you into a blob, basically. They turn you into a big blob of nothingness. So for me, my scenario was I would wake up in the morning and because of the condition, I would literally be in fight or flight mode from the moment I wake up, from every single decision ever. I would wake up and start just crying against a wall. I wouldn't even be able to leave my bedroom. Or I would take the propranolol, these beta blockers, and that would just turn me into a blob and I could just sit there and I could just watch paint dry. So both of those scenarios really weren't ideal. But when I was getting into medical cannabis, I actually got into it by accident because I just wanted to find a substance that I could use recreationally. And at the time, because I had this brain injury and I was on all this medication, any other substance or stuff that I used to do back in the day, I couldn't do. It would just completely ruin me, completely just, I couldn't do it. And even alcohol, right? I couldn't drink alcohol, I couldn't do anything. So at the time, I was just trying to find something that would like take the edge off, that I could have as like my vice. And obviously from that, I suddenly realized that, oh, I'm able to live as a normal person now. I'm able to go through my day and be normal. And that's how I slowly discovered medical cannabis. And at the time, this was 2014, I started speaking to a lot of my US homies about medical cannabis and they would explain to me more information. I started learning everything over that year. I moved to America in 2015 and there I learned even more. I turned 18 there. That's kind of where the medical cannabis journey started. And so that's how I got into medical cannabis. And it's also why I find comments like this super strange where people are like, oh, but Drew, cannabis makes your anxiety worse. Just stop, bro. Just stop smoking weed and your anxiety will get way better, bro. Trust me, man. I'm like, no, bro, that isn't how it works. Not for me. It might work for you, but I have a brain condition. So that's the situation that I'm in, and weirdly, it brings up more concerns than you would think. So I don't really understand these, but I'm going to bring them up and sort of explain my thoughts on them, I guess, to a point, which is one thing that comes up a lot is, oh, well, Drew, I saw this video of you enjoying your cannabis. So how can you be a medical user? You're clearly enjoying it recreationally. I didn't realize that me enjoying a bit of cannabis took away my brain injury and my need for cannabis. And so I don't really understand this. Like, me enjoying a bit of cannabis every now and then doesn't take away the fact that I have a brain condition that I need cannabis for. Like, I don't drink alcohol. I don't enjoy like any other substances or anything like that. So for me to find joy in something that causes no harm to anyone else, no harm to myself, and in fact also still benefits my condition. Like, if I have an extra J, that's going to still benefit my condition. I'm still going to be in a better position than I was beforehand. Another concern that I see comes up a lot is people saying, oh, well, you consume all day, every day. which I don't know where that comes from. I don't live stream my life, and nor do I film like daily vlogs. So I don't know why people would think that I consume all day, every day, but I absolutely do not consume all day, every day. Like, yeah, sometimes there might be days where my condition is pretty bad and I do have to consume all day for that day, not every day, but yeah, all day that day maybe. But like, say right now it's like 5 p.m. and I haven't consumed. My anxiety's been really good all day. Symptoms haven't been coming up, so I haven't really consumed. So I don't really understand why people think they understand how much I consume. Another concern I see all the time is people being like, oh, well, bro, you don't have a condition as bad as this, or you don't have a condition as bad as me, and I don't use medical cannabis, or I have anxiety and I don't use medical cannabis. It's like, cool, bro, that's you. Like, that doesn't affect me. Like, and I'm not gonna make somebody else feel bad because they have a condition that isn't as bad as mine and they use medical cannabis. Like, what mindset is this? So the last concern that I see some people have, and it's mainly one that I see some people going off about on Reddit, is that some people try and say that I should have my prescription taken away from me because I buy black market weed and I buy Cali weed. And I don't understand that. I mean, number one, why would you ever try and advocate for somebody to get their prescription taken away? I don't care what somebody's done. I don't care if somebody does something that I don't agree with or whatever. Why would you ever be like, yes, this medical patient, I want them to not have access to their medical cannabis? What mindset do you have to be in to think that that's an okay thing to say to somebody? But regardless, the reason I use black market cannabis, and specifically the Cali weed, is because it's better than the medical weed and it helps my condition more. And obviously, as a medical consumer, I'm going to try and benefit my medical condition as much as possible. And if that means I can find better weed on black market, then I'm going to do just that. And I'm very open about that with my doctor, and especially about the fact that, yeah, the goal is to eventually completely be on medical cannabis, but that's not really possible when it doesn't help the condition as well as I know it can from other better quality sources, right? And it's also why I don't really get that much UK black market anymore, because most medical bud available in the UK is way better than the bud that you see on the street here in the UK, the UK bud anyways. But it still hasn't surpassed the Cali imports. So like, yeah, obviously I'm going to try and benefit my condition as much as possible, and I can afford to buy Cali. So yeah, I'm going to supplement with the Cali weed. Like, yeah. I also want to reiterate once again, I don't want this video to come across in a way of like me trying to feel sorry for myself with my condition and like, oh, woe is me. Like, no, I just wanted to make this because clearly people have a misconception of why I use medical cannabis, and why I need it, how I use it, and then I also didn't understand the other mindsets before. So I wanted to talk about this. I hope it came across okay. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will see you guys very soon.